Subsidy received from the central government towards the purchase of input material is 10,000. If you add 90,000 plus 18,000 is 1,08,000. Play excluding of GST. See, once he gives excluding of GST, so we should add all these items. Electronic credit ledger means it is a ledger which shows the input tax credit available. Hello my dear students, I am your AJ sir, faculty, Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, a temple of excellence, MYSURU. My dear students, in the previous session, we were discussing about the problem on how to calculate the value of supply and also GST payable. So, the same type of problem here also we are going to solve in this session. And today's session is indirect tax to 6M BCom, and the topic is value of taxable supply. Let's go to the next problem. Mr. A sold a product intrastate. Intrastate means what? Within the state. Interstate means between 2 or 3 states. Next one, to Mr. B, compute the value of supply from the following information. Let's go to the first point. Input materials purchased 50,000. See here, he has not given the full price of the actual or total cost of the machine. He has given separately. Now input materials is 50,000 and the tax paid or IGST paid on is 9,000. We should not take this amount. So only we should consider 50,000. Tax only can be charged after adding all the cost of production. Next one. Component purchased or any other components means other related products for the purchase, for the production of the goods. Purchased from a supplier rupees 15,000. We can add this, and GST paid 5,400. We should not take the GST or any other tax paid. Only we should add the 15,000. Next one, subsidy received from the central government towards the purchase of input material is 10,000. So any subsidy received from the government we should not take. Next one, labor cost 10,000. We can add this amount. See, subsidy don't take. Labor cost we can take. Administrative overheads. So we can take administrative overheads. Next one, profit. We can add the profit later after adding all the cost of production. We can add the profit. Next one, discount allowed to customers as per the terms 5,000. Later after adding the profit we can get the discount. Next one, expenses on package incurred by the supplier 4,000. So once you calculate the cost of production we can add the packing expenses and also transportation charges paid by the customers on behalf of the supplier. This amount also we can add after the calculation of total cost of production. Now let's calculate the value of supply and also cost of production. Now what is the actual cost of the raw materials? 50,000. So first take total cost of material. Cost of material. Material is 50,000. Next one, components purchased for 15,000. Add components. $15,000. Next one, subsidy received, we should not take this. Labor cost, we can add labor cost. Add labor cost. How much? Labor cost 10,000. Add labor cost 10,000. Next item, administrative overhead 15,000. So we can add this. Administrative overhead 15,000. So now discount will be calculated later. Package also we can add later. Transportation charges also we can add later. So first this is the total cost of production. So 30 is what it is, 90,000. Total cost of production is 90,000. Cost of production. Now next point, add profit. Add profit to this. So what is the profit? 20% is the profit. So calculate 20% profit. So 90,000 into 20 by 100. So 90,000 into 20% profit is 18,000. Add 18,000. If you add 90,000 plus 18,000 is 1,08,000. Now add 4,000 packing charges and 7,000 transportation charges. So packing charges is 4,000. Again add transportation charges 7,000. So add it, how much you'll get? So 1,08,000 plus 4,000 plus 7,000, you get 1,19,000. 1,19,000 is the total price. Total price of the supply. Again we have discount here. He has given discount 5,000 rupees. Okay, so discount 5,000 minus discount 5,000. So we'll get, we get the discount. So you'll get 1,14,000. So total value of supply. And after that we can, if he did not give the actual GST rate, we can assume GST rate as 18%. So let's calculate the 18% GST, and out of 18%, 9% is the CGST, remaining 9% is the SGST. So total value of supply is 1,14,000. Okay, so GST at 18%. So calculate GST on 1,14,000 is 20,520. Out of this 50%, that means 9% is the SGST, 9% is the CGST. So make it divided by 2. So CGST equals to 10,260 GST, and SGST equals to 10,260. Total GST equals to 20,520. We can show like this. Next problem, compute the value of supply of goods and GST payable from the following information. First one, selling price of the supply excluding of GST. See, once he gives excluding of GST, so we should add all these items. If it is inclusive of GST, we should neglect this item and we should directly go to the calculation of tax. Keep this in mind. Next one, it is 6 lakh. So actual cost of the product is 6 lakh. So we can add advertisement expenses, we can add publicity charges, selling and distribution expense also we can add. Next one, loading and handling charges also we can add, service charges also we can add, outward freight and insurance on the customer's request also we can add. Next slide. Now, other information as given, the expenses of item A to G above are separately shown in the invoice. So they have given separate information in the invoice. Discount allowed at 10%. So after calculating the total cost of supply, we can deduct the discount. Next one, electronic ledger, credit ledger. So ECL means electronic credit ledger. See, what do you mean by that? See, this electronic credit ledger shows input tax credit. So input tax credit means the amount spent on the or tax paid on the purchasing of the raw materials. For example, to produce this goods, 6 lakh rupees worth of goods, I have purchased the raw materials. On the raw materials, I have paid the tax, no? So that tax can be deducted or credited while paying the tax while the supply of goods. So after the product is finished, after the production is finished, okay, so we have to pay a certain amount of tax. Out of the total GST payable, we can get the credit or we can deduct the tax what we have paid while purchasing of raw materials. Once again, I am repeating, see, input tax credit means we can get the credit or we can deduct the tax we have paid while purchasing the raw materials. So total tax payable minus input tax credit or tax what we have paid while the purchase of the credit. That what electronic credit ledger shows. We have paid the CGST on input 12,960, SGST 14,340. This amount we can deduct from the total tax payable while calculating the GST. Not now, after calculating the cost of supply and also GST, we can deduct both the amounts. So CGST from CGST, SGST amount from SGST we can deduct. So there is a separate mechanism. So how to, if there is excess amount left out or excess credit is there in CGST, we can we use to SGST. If there is excess credit in the IGST, can we use to CGST and SGST? This type of problem we will study in the next chapter, input tax credit. So you have separate chapter for this input tax credit for how to calculate the CGST. That is also important chapter, very, very easy. So in tax you have all easy chapters, easy problems, no need to worry, just adding and deducting, that's it. So some points you have to keep in mind while adding and deducting, whether we should take the items or not the items. So here, while calculating the total value of supply, only if you get the government grants and all, you should neglect this. You just check the formats. We have given all the items. What are the items you have taken, added, or what are the items you have to neglect it. Only 2 or 3 items are there to neglect. And apart from that, we can add all the items. If it is inclusive of tax, then we should not take other items or other amount what they have given in the question. So the rate of tax is 18%. So I hope you are understanding. Electronic credit ledger means it is a ledger which shows the input tax credit available while paying the tax. Let's start the problem. First one, selling price of supply excluding GST. So he has given excluding GST, I add all the other items. First one, selling price of the supply. Selling price of supply. How much? 6 lakh. Selling price of the supply is 6 lakh. Next one, we can add advertising, other all expenses we can add here. Add the following items. So add the following items. What are those? First one, advertising expenses 50,000. First one, advertising expenses 50,000. 50,000. Second one, publicity expenses 25,000. Next one, selling and distribution expenses 20,000. Next one, loading and handling charges 50,000. Fourth one, loading and handling charges 5,000. Next one, service charges 50,000. Next item, outward freight and insurance 30,000. Sixth one, freight and insurance 30,000. Now, the expenses of items A to B above are separately shown. So, what are the discount he has given? 10%. After adding all the total cost, we can calculate the discount. Next one, electricity credit ledger also we can take later. So, now let's add all the items. $60,000, sorry, 6 lakh plus 50,000 plus 25,000 plus 20,000 plus 5,000 plus 50,000 plus 30,000. So it is 7,80,000. So add 7,80,000. So it is 7,80,000. Let's deduct discount minus discount. So what is the discount rate of discount? 10%. 10% means what? On the cost of the product. Now what is the cost of the product? The cost of the product is 6 lakhs. So on the 6 lakh we should calculate the discount. So discount 6 lakh into 10 by 100. 10% is the discount. So you'll get 60,000. So 60,000 is the discount. Deduct the discount. So you'll get 7,20,000 actual value of supply or total value of supply. Total value of supply is 7,20,000. Now calculation of GST. So it is particulars how to calculate computation of value of supply and GST payable. Now it is GST payable. Now what is the total value of supply? Total value of supply is 7,20,000. Now what is the total GST? Total GST equals to 18% is the GST, right? See, let's check. So 18% is the GST. So it is 7,20,000 into 18%. So you'll get total GST is 1,29,600. So out of 1,29,600, 50% is the CGST, remaining 50% goes to SGST. Okay. So let's calculate CGST and SGST. So total GST. Total GST. So 1,29,600 divided by 2. So we'll get 64,800 CGST, 64,800 SGST. Okay. Here electronic credit ledger shows, see here you can write like this, 1,29,600 divided by 2. So then you get 64,800, 64,800. So now here look at the question. Electronic credit ledger shows the following balance. So this is the input tax credit available for the customer. CGST is 12,960, SGST is 14,340. So we can claim the credit here. So input tax credit according to electronic credit ledger. So what is that? How much? So it is CGST 12,960. So we can deduct CGST 12,960. Here it is 14,340. So it is 14,340. Deduct it. So I'll get net tax payable minus 12,960. So we'll get 51,840. Next one, 64,800 minus 14,340. So we'll get 50,460 total GST payable. So this is how we should solve the problem. Very, very simple problems you are having, my dear children. So this type of problem only they will ask. So let's go to the working note. So we can write the working note here. So whatever the items you have taken, for that we can give the working note. If there is any government grants is there, government discount is there, so we can neglect that, and also for that we can give the working note. And also the price is the sole consideration, that's why we have taken the 6 lakh. And also since this is exclusive of all the items and tax, we have included all the items. If it is already included, we will neglect the items given like this. Okay. So in exam there we can ask any type of the problems, whether it is exclusive, you add it. Whether it is inclusive, just neglect it. You can go to this type of, see, whether it is inclusive, we can take secondary information. So primary information, we will neglect it. So keep this in mind, that's it. So this is the problem. Once again I can explain. So total value of supply is, actual supply is 7,20,000. On that total GST payable is 18%. If you calculated 18%, 7,20,000 into 18 by 100. If you did, you will get 1,29,600. And I bifurcated. So as CGST and SGST divided by 2, you'll get 9% CGST, 9% SGST, and the credit ledger is showing 12,960 in the input tax credit for the CGST. Here input tax credit for the SGST is 14,340. If you deduct this item, so you'll get the actual tax payable. So this is the end of this sum. So in the next session, we are going to discuss about next chapter. So input tax credit, whatever the see we have discussed input tax credit, no. So there is separate chapter to understand input tax credit. That is also very easy chapter, very understandable, and also very important mark scoring or mark scoring oriented chapters. So I hope you understood these problems. If you have any doubts regarding this, you can come to the college later, and also you can leave the comment below if you are having any doubts. So in the next session, we are going to discuss about introduction about the input tax credit. What is the meaning of input tax credit? What are the eligibility and conditions for taking input tax credit? This is the theory question you will be having in the exam. So for this, there will be some conditions are there, rules and regulations. If you write that, they may ask for 5 marks and 10 marks. Very important point. And also procedure for ITC, input tax credit reversal. So how to get the input tax credit while after paying the tax. So input tax credit only available once you pay the tax, not before that. So these are the points we will discuss in the next session. Till then, thank you so much. We will meet in the next session.